Where does poverty begin? Is it a job?
A lack of education.
Parents?
What about a home? The Micah's Creek Build project will be one of the most groundbreaking projects in this country that will affect education through homeownership. It will also create generational wealth for these families that live in these homes in East Athens. By now, everyone has heard of the housing crisis, a global housing crisis. But in Athens, we've had a housing crisis for a very long time.
In the last 10 years, I've really just watched home values go up, and especially in the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, they've really escalated in a way that would have been unimaginable to me when I moved here.
It's a perfect storm of housing crisis that has been going on for decades in this community.
There's a limited amount of research on the benefits of homeownership among lower income families. There was a fairly recent study done by Georgia Tech and Kennesaw State University, and they in particular found many positive outcomes for children living in Habitat-owned homes, including better physical and mental health, improved educational attainment, and higher earnings.
90% of the homeowners in the state of Georgia report that their kids do better in school when they move into a Habitat home. 80% of those children and families can save money for the future because their budgets are stabilized. And 70% of those folks report that they reduce or remove all forms of public assistance.
The Micah's Creek project will contain many households that will be served by Gaines Elementary School. We are interested in studying the positive effects that come from home ownership and stability in the household on school-age children. We believe that there's enough households within this development to actually show a change within that school system.
We are proposing and planning a longitudinal study of people moving into Micah's Creek. And our plans for that study would be to look at a range of outcomes related to stable housing and home ownership. So we'll be looking at children's educational attainment and even adults' educational attainment. Do people make progress in different areas of life or have improved outcomes in different areas of life? And we'll look at how that unfolds from before they move in the first year or two to a kind of a 5-year timeline while living in Micah's Creek. What I would expect to find is that having access to affordable homeownership, that is going to lead to a better quality of life and better social outcomes in terms of health, education, perhaps earnings. I think that we'll see an array of positive impacts.
So the Micah's Creek Build project will show that housing and home ownership can be used as an educational tool. Currently, we're in the pre-development phase, meeting with architects, engineers, designers, and the surrounding neighborhood to come up with a product that is not only pleasing to the residents, but pleasing to the city of Athens.
When Habitat came to us with this project, it started with merely just a piece of property and a vision for something that could be a large change for the community. Working in partnership with them, we've begun conceptual ideas on how to shape the neighborhood, but also to make the neighborhood diverse. We are looking at a variation in housing types to try and bring in true diversity to this neighborhood.
And what that means is that it will be designed with people in mind, it will be designed with nature in mind, and it'll be designed with the highest level of energy efficiency in mind. For our residents to live in a place where they can stabilize their income, stabilize their families, send their kids to school with a clean, well-lighted place to come home to every day. Here at Athens Area Habitat for Humanity, we try to keep in mind what's called the virtuous cycle. And what that means is when donors give us their time, money, or used goods to sell in our restores, those funds are reintroduced and reinvested into the Athens community.
Community investment. Supporters of Athens Habitat contribute funds, merchandise, time, and energy to maintain a general fund and various project funds. Donations to our thrift stores are resold and proceeds are added to the general fund.
Habitat and homeowner investment. The general fund and project funds are spent on our mission to provide low-cost housing in our service area. Mortgages and leases are paid back into the general fund. Mission and overhead spending go to local families, businesses, and various taxes.
Return on investment. Habitat homeowners and renters improve their finances, their health, and their educational and employment opportunities while reducing or eliminating their need for public assistance. Neighborhood renovations stabilizes property values. Construction and overhead dollars are spent with local businesses, stimulating the economy. It all leads to a more prosperous community for everyone. What that means is 99% of any donation given to Athens Area Habitat is spent in the Athens community.
We believe that Habitat is serving an incredibly important role in our community. As housing costs continue to rise and the availability of affordable housing is becoming ever more scarce, the things that Habitat are doing are more vital than ever. We still believe that homeownership is part of the American dream, and Habitat is offering opportunities to help fulfill those dreams for so many in the community. So the question is,
how could you not want to be a part of this?